Okay, Lady Ada, what is this?
This is One Nation, One Team Show and Tell. Hey everybody, we're here at the Adafruit factory doing our weekly show and tell like we do every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. It's me, Lady Ada, with me, Mr. Lady Ada, and it's a ticker tape parade of fun and maker enjoyment as people from around the world come by and show us what they're working on, whether it be soldering or coding or 3D printing or crafting or knitting or cosplay. We want to see what you're up to. So we're going to go through some Adafruit folks and check in on them this nice summer eve, and then whoever else comes into the show. Let's kick it off with Scott, who's got
Hello.
a cryptic message from the OLED future.
Yes, so you can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What I've been working on is adding other color depth support to Display.io. So previously, Display.io would only work on 16-bit color displays, like all of our color TFTs. And I've been working on getting it so that the same code you write for Display.io on a TFT can just translate really easily over to an OLED, which is only, in this case, a single bit, whether the pixel is on or off. The work that I'm putting in should hopefully scale to like 2-bit or 4-bit grayscale displays as well. I'm shooting for e-ink also, because I really want an e-ink pyportal, and we need to do the work for that. So
I told him if Scott does the code for it, I'll make the hardware design.
Yeah.
This is we made.
Yeah, because we don't next to our bed, we don't like light sources when we're trying to sleep. So an e-ink pyportal is the best of both worlds, where if it's in the morning and you have a little bit of light in your room, you can just look and you can see the time without it blasting you when it's completely dark. So doing a lot of groundwork for that and hoping to get it in maybe working hopefully by the end of the week, and then maybe in next week. So people should keep an eye on CircuitPython for that.
Well, I like how you have the top of the Blinka, and it looks like the text, like sometimes it shows up and then it like flips over. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, so one thing I did notice is that I was stepping through. I can tell it to just like do one area update at a time. And the very first thing that just shows the Blinka, it shows like the Blinka head here, and then the body is like 1 bit over, which is clearly like some of my math is not right.
Yeah. But it's this stuff displaying. It's looking pretty good. You can kind of see the text.
There's a lot of science fiction shows that would really like this.
This is great.
Yeah, it's great alien speak.
Yeah,
but it's actually saying like test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I think it's a countdown self-destruct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's totally like Predator. This looks like the Predator text that always appears.
I gotta get out of here.
Okay.
Yeah, it's tricky, but we'll figure it out.
People will be looking forward to that. It looks awesome, and I think that'll be a great addition, so people can do OLED with all the font support that you added and maps. And
we'll want to add a display bus for the I2C OLEDs as well.
Yeah.
Because we can only do SPI and 8-bit parallel currently.
Yes, that's true. All right, cool. Thank you for the updates. Next up, let's check in with Kattni.
Let's go to Kattni with this.
Nice overhead, Kattni.
Hello. Thank you very much. It's new. So I have been working over the past couple weeks on a library called Pybadger, which we have a Pybadger to go with now. Very exciting. And what it does is it helps you very easily create an event badge. And so we wrote a guide for it where Blinka is going to a conference. And so the first bit is hello, my name is Blinka. But we wanted to take it a few steps further where you could display a business card with an image. Oh, it also auto dims if it doesn't move.
That's nice.
But we wanted to be able to display a business card with your name and email address and a picture. So this is Blinka's picture here. And also have the ability to display a QR code, which takes you to wherever it is you want to go. All of this is customizable, including the fonts and the, does it work?
Well, we're gonna try
I'm going to try.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. CircuitPython.org in Safari.
It worked.
Nice. And then you can go back to the hello, my name is badge by pressing another button. So this is designed with a built-in font, so you don't actually have to have a font file if you don't want to. However, you can customize it to use your own font files if you want to get super fancy. The size of the text is all customizable. The colors are customizable. And that way, when you go to your conference, you can have the coolest badge in the place.
Okay. Well, this is looking great and just in time for conference season. So yeah, now we've got a couple projects with making custom badges, and we'll add more and more to this as people come up with ideas. I think what we'll see is people go to events. At the event, they'll hack their badge to add like maybe a step counter or like an interest icon where you can add like different icons for the kind of stuff you want to talk to people about. And we'll add that to the library. I think that'll be really neat to see.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Okay, cool.
All right, good work.
Next up, let's check in with JP.
Hey, how you doing? All right, yeah, here we are. So I'm going to switch cameras too. How about that? And that's to show you a little teaser of the game that I'm going to show on the show tomorrow. And a little background on this. This is something that Lady Ada hacked up in Make Code a little while back, but we didn't get a chance to polish it off and finish it. So here it comes. And this is using the accelerometer on the Pygame. Oh, let me restart it. Live demo. To do, I'm going to turn it off and on, sorry. A Marble Madness where you're going to tilt your Pygame to move this little marble around the board. And we're going to have a proper maze level where you got to avoid sinking into little holes and you got to get to the end. And what I've decided to do is there's a sort of common trick in game development, which is to teach a player how to play the game, not through a tutorial, but through sort of a sneaky tutorial that they don't realize is a tutorial. So to start this, we've got to get down to this little red dot, which means we've basically taught all of the gameplay that's necessary. And then we'll go through and get to the actual game here, which I'll show tomorrow.
Which is much more challenging.
Way challenging, like it's super, super challenging.
Have you gotten to the end?
I have gotten to the end, yeah. Most of the time I get about a third of the way there before I fall into a hole. It's quite tricky. But I think
I remade this to mimic those wooden labyrinth games that like when I was a kid, this was like, we didn't have video games. So we
just
though they were hard. Like I never got very far. Yeah, you had the two knobs. And it just kind of sucked. I mean, you always pick up the marble and put it in where you last were, but it was
upside down if it has the little acrylic lid. And
yeah, it was super challenging. So yeah, I thought I would mimic that because it's a good demo of the accelerometer capability.
Yeah, it's a great demo of the accelerometer, and it's very straightforward. That part of it is it's one of the simpler parts of the code, as I'll show tomorrow in Make Code, getting it to respond to the accelerometer on the Pybadger and Pygame. It'll work on Pybadger too, right? I haven't tried it.
Yeah, it should. I mean, you just have to update the bootloader to the latest version.
And I think with this one, I'm going to try to do a couple of levels and then encourage people to build their own levels because doing so is really straightforward. You can update them with one block, the tile map block. So it should be fun for people to add extra levels to.
Okay. Tune in tomorrow.
Please come by.
JP's workshop. Get your marbles and lose them, and then get them back in. Okay, let's go to Dan. Hey, Dan. Okay, we can't hear you. We can see you, though. You want to try fixing your... You can also do maker charades.
You want us to come back to you, Dan? We'll come back to you.
All right, let's go to
Noe Pedro.
Noe Pedro.
Hello, is the audio working?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Alrighty, would you guys like to see what we're working on? Here it is. It's a neotrellis based project using the prop maker Featherwing. And let's turn it on. So it has a built-in speaker and battery, so it's portable and you don't need to connect it to like your DAW to make sounds. So it makes sounds right off the bat. So it's always fun picking, hey, hello there.
Hello, world.
Yes. Does it work?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm hearing.
All right. How does it feel? How does it feel? Oh yeah. Okay. Let's change it up a little bit. Okay. Yeah. Wait, we already did that one. Okay. Oh no. Okay. That we'll do that. All right, that's what we're working on. I'm working on the Learn Guide, and shout out to Mike B for the awesome code. We need to make him a little bit more happy, so we'll get on that.
All right, cool.
Yep.
Nice work.
And we'll be playing a couple time lapses and more on our show tonight.
Yay.
Okay, let's
All
go
right.
check back in with Dan.
Dan, you want to unmute your mic and see how it goes?
No.
Nope.
But you can hold it up and I know what it is, so I can explain it.
Okay. In Dan's hand
So in Dan's hands
is probably a Bluetooth something.
okay, we're back to, okay.
Okay. He has.
So he has one feather blue fruit,
Yeah.
and it's got 3 potentiometers on it, and it's wireless. No, there's no wires
I
here.
did notice the lack of wires.
There's a lack of wires, and there's another blue fruit, and it's got a NeoPixel feather wing attached to it. And so the question is, what if you wanted to change those NeoPixel colors? How could you do
So
that?
in his left hand, he's going to turn those knobs, I bet. And
Yeah.
It's gonna change the colors there.
Colors? Okay.
Probably
let's
using
see.
something like Bluetooth Central or something.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to see the color changing because it's so bright. I believe you. Oh, the battery broke. All right. Hold on.
No mic, no battery.
See, Kattni, this is what,
We were talking about this in our other meeting. It's just like,
this is how it goes in life. You just get used to
well,
it.
we're gonna come back to Dan after he gets his battery.
And there's too much wireless.
That's exactly the right thing to say.
Thank
All
you.
right, let's go to Erin.
Okay, let's go to Erin. Erin.
Hello. Hopefully, I'll have a little more success. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. I am.
Your video looks really good, by the way.
Yay. Yeah. Everything is roses around here because I have a brand new computer. It's exciting.
I like that Dan's audio works now.
It works afterwards.
Okay. So I'm gonna share my screen here. I think I showed this a couple of weeks ago, but I've kind of redone it and I'm working on building it. I have a bike that I'm working on for taking a Burning Man. It's like a very fun, exciting old bike that I'm changing into a new fun light up bike. I sort of redid the setup and I'm pretty happy with it now. I've got a waterproof battery case, and then I've got a Feather M4 with a prop maker wing on it, and then I've got a 3-watt LED up here. And I've sealed the whole thing so that it's completely sealed and encased in plastic. Like, it's so nice that I threw it in the pool and the whole thing just works underwater, which is really nice. It means to me that it's not going to break when I take it to festivals or anything like that. It's dust proof, it's waterproof, it's everything proof. So I've attached this to a tube that's on the back of the bike, and another tube goes inside of it that's got a big long fiber optic cable. This again was my first build. I used acrylic. Don't use acrylic. Acrylic breaks as soon as the bike leans against anything. But I redid it with some polycarbonate tubing, and now it seems really cool. Here's a photo. I've also added some little crystal gems from my earlier project. I seem to be adding these to just everything. They're like my favorite thing ever. To the end of it. And so let's see. I'm going to see if I can get back to my self here because I've got the real thing right here. I don't know if it's very visible, but it's got all the fiber optics and it's not even that dark in here. This 3-watt LED is just ridiculously screaming bright. So it's pretty cool. It's attached to the bike here and it's just starting to look really good. Next up, I'm going to add another system that's going to have lights all over the frame of the bike as well, which are going to have a separate battery and everything. So again, if one of the systems breaks or anything goes down, you're still going to have lights on your bike, even though you're out at a festival or playa or whatever. So
yeah, I like your use of fiber optic because it's not a commonly used material, but when done right, it is extraordinarily durable. Unlike NeoPixels, you're never going to get a break in the middle that makes half of it not work. You only have one light source. So overall, it uses less or the same amount of power, and you get this really beautiful effect. And it's, again, it's weatherproof. You can remove it and add it, and you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, it's really cool. And I love the whole thing is removable, too. I can just pull the fiber optic tube out and the bike, all the lights and everything are just attached securely to the bike, but I can take the fiber optics right off.
Yeah.
So if I want to put it on a bike rack or whatever, the fiber optics are not going to get screwed up in the wind on the back of my car. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that looks cool. People can check out the guide if they want to DIY their own version. I like you dunked it underwater. That's a good test. Taking that risk. All right, next up, let's go back to Dan.
Yeah, and then we'll go.
Okay, so Dan, you now have a desk.
Now, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Everything's working.
Everything's
All
working.
right. So I unplugged one of the webcams, so you won't see me, but you see the desk. Right. So here we've got the thing with the blue top is a Bluetooth peripheral, like a fitness monitor or something like that. In Bluetooth, you've got peripherals and centrals, and this guy with the LEDs is a central. That would be like your phone, except in this case, I've got two Feather NRF 52840s. One is the central, and one is the peripheral, and they're talking to each other by radio. They're 2 inches apart, right? So there we go. This guy, these three knobs are red, green, and blue, and as I change the knobs, it's sending RGB messages of changing color, the Adafruit messages from the peripheral to the central. So we'll just turn this up, and this, I'm using this thing as a history kind of. It's showing the.
I see. So as you change the colors,
you can see how it changes, and now I'll turn it up a different way. Now I'll turn it back down. And so this is kind of like the color picker app in the Adafruit Connect, except that I'm using knobs. And that's what we got here. And now it's so dark you can't see anything.
okay.
All right. All right. That's it. So this will be in a beta, an alpha or a beta really soon.
All right. So people who are interested in Bluetooth, CircuitPython, central mode.
Yep. And I've got two. So I've got scanning, peripheral, and central.
Amazing. You're doing the work of 100 people.
Yeah.
I know that because when I was on Embedded FM podcast, they said 100 people at Fitbit do all this for Fitbit.
Right, and I feel like I've invented my own SDK underneath there. It's
that's working for you.
Dan SDK.
Dan SDK.
Let's go to Roberto.
Software Dan Kit.
Okay, we're gonna go to Roberto.
Okay, Roberto.
Hey folks, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
All right, for whatever reason, I couldn't get my my internal webcam working, so I'm just working with the one that's connected to Cheese. And hopefully y'all are seeing this Soundwave 3D printed head.
Yeah.
I used some magnets to make the top detachable. And on the inside is a NeoPixel ring of the 16 LED variety. And on the bottom here is also a 3D printed panel that is customizable via OpenSCAD. Currently you're seeing the Decepticon logo, but it's also, you can customize it with Mario icons, or the other ones I did was from Star Wars. And in the middle is a monochrome trellis keyboard. And on each key, except for this one here, is a sound. And so
that's nice.
I made sure not to put any copyright ones on here, so y'all should be good.
Thanks.
That'll do.
Yeah, so it's got a bunch of sounds. And this one particular button is set aside to change the light modes. So Soundwave is purple, so I got a purple, and then there's a white and a red. But the only thing was the Arduino Uno Revision 3 ran out of memory, so I could only put 3 different light modes. The Soundwave shield that I'm using, I think it's like y'all's product 94. It's real low, and I can put pretty much unlimited sounds on there. But I was limited by the memory on the Arduino Uno for how many light modes I could have. So I don't know. Maybe the next one is to move on to a different board that has more memory. As usual, I put the code on GitHub, and if anyone's interested, they can check it out. Thanks for having me this week.
Thanks, Roberto.
Right. And as usual, you don't really know this.
Thanks.
It's like a cliffhanger. All right.
Autobots assemble. Hey, Jonah.
Hello, TG Techie. What you got?
We can't hear you.
You are. Now
Hello?
you're here. Yep.
Yes. Hi.
I'm sharing the screen, right?
Yes.
Hi. So, I've been working on graphical interfaces for a while, and my previous version which could do buttons and use like the idea of pointer for selecting things. While it worked, the creating an app for it wasn't as elegant as one would like, or at least as I would like. So I'm creating a third version where to create an app, you make a class that represents the app. With each page, you put a class inside of that app class, and you just decorate them with these little decorators, and then add a setup method to the class, and then it'll figure out the rest of it for you. And if I switch back to regular camera, version 1 is actually displaying things, so it can interpret that structure and actually produce a user interface. Pointers are still to come, selectable objects as soon as you go, but hopefully it'll
Well, it looks really good. And hopefully you're trying out the latest versions of CircuitPython, which are a little bit faster, so you'll get more data more faster.
All you need to do is pass a display object and then the number of good sizes you want.
Okay,
All right.
awesome.
And Melissa. Sorry,
Melissa.
I skipped over Melissa.
Who else has a PyPortal project?
That's right.
There we go. So I've been working on a PyPortal calculator here, working on a guide for it, and it is working pretty well now. I kind of reverse engineered another calculator that I had as an example.
If you tilt it back a little bit and then bring it closer to the screen, people can see. Yeah, now tilt it back a little bit. There you go. You can see how close it is to probably some of your familiar calculators. It's all in Python and it works.
It's all pure Python.
Yeah, CircuitPython, and it's using display.io user interface elements. So it's using just the buttons and rectangles and a label.
All right, looks awesome.
We'll have a guide for that shortly.
It's also a good, first it's a great calculator, but it's also a good way to learn how to make user interfaces in display.io.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one of the first Python tutorials for graphics that I did was learning how to make a calculator.
Yep.
That's a good project. Okay, I think we got through everybody.
All right, thank you, Melissa.
Special
thanks.
Scott,
Roberto, OLED, Roberto, Noe Pedro, Autobots,
Kattni,
Decepticons,
DP,
Soundwave,
Erin, and Dan. We're here every single week,
Optimus
7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Thanks for making this the best half an hour of our week every single week. We'll see everybody on Ask an Engineer in about 5 minutes or so.
Thanks, everybody. Bye. Play us out.
Yeah. What's that sound like?
I don't even know.
Yeah. Maybe Roberto can play us out with a Transformer sound. Do it. That's exactly it.
I love y'all.
And that's show and tell.
Love you guys.
Perfect timing.